Hello everyone and welcome to this week's free newsletter from Trader Precision. We got a lot of good response last week in regards to the video talking about levels and what to watch for the coming week. People said they really liked that, how they could mark those levels on their charts and keep an eye on them for the few days and even for the rest of the week really. So I thought I'd carry on with that theme this week. Now on that note, I want to say to you, whenever you watch videos such as this and people make predictions or talk about key levels or say what they're going to do in the future, it's a really good learning opportunity to go back and watch that video after the fact and then see what did they say then and how did it turn out and how could have you traded it. So if you didn't trade any of those levels that Craig spoke about last week, there's a good idea to go back, watch the video, mark those levels on your chart and have a look how price reacted around that and think about how you potentially could have traded that. So I'll just show you one, for example, how I would do this. So if you went back and watched the video, you would see Craig talking about pound yen, and he talks about the 130 level. So when he was talking about it, the price was still above the 130 up here. And he was saying he was potentially looking for a bounce off that level and for price to push higher. But then he also said because of the way it had put in lower highs here, he said there was a very, very good chance it was going to break down through that level, that it wouldn't hold, and then he'd be looking to play any retests from the bottom side of that. And so that you should have had that marked in your charts and you should have been watching that. With that, if we then come and have a look down at lower time frames, what happened was that's exactly what Craig said. We had the sort of lower highs here, price broke down, pulled back and bounced exactly off that, well not exactly, but pretty much bounced off that level and then rolled over. Now how do you trade that? How do you trade those opportunities? That's up to you. There's a million different ways you can trade those, and we have a number of different strategies at Trader Precision about how we'd go about trading that. But you had the higher time frame here. This equates to like about a 61% pullback, which lines up around there. You could drill down to lower time frames to come down, say, to the 15-minute. This was the spot up here, and look for opportunities off that as well. So there was a lot of opportunities on a number of different time frames on how you could have entered into that trade and got a nice little run out of that. So like I said, it's always good to go back, have a look what they said, see how it played out and see how you could have played it, and that's the best way you're going to learn from those videos. So now looking at what I'm looking for the rest of the week and into early next week, the first pair I'll look at is Euro Yen. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is on this daily chart. If I open this up, you can see I've drawn a level in here at 105.50. Now if I blow this up a little bit bigger, you can have a look. We've got a bit of a touch here, some good support through there, bit of support there, bit of resistance, broke on through, then we've got support, and now we've got support again. And what we're seeing on this daily chart right now is we've got a fairly bearish candle here. Now if this can push on down, it will be resuming this bigger higher time frame trend. So if I come to the monthly, for example, you can see the monthly is in this nice downtrend, making lower lows, lower highs, has pulled back into this sell zone and could look to be pushing lower. So based on that, what we're seeing here on this daily, if this breaks on down through this level and pulls back to retest that level, I'll be looking for shorting opportunities short, which will be in agreement with that higher monthly time frame. So the next one is Euro US. Now with Euro US, fairly similar setup, but what I'm looking for here is at the level at 1.30, around 20, so 3020. We've got a fairly good level through here. It's even tested way back here, but through here it's found support and resistance, and of late has definitely found support there. What we're putting in is lower highs, and again if I come to this higher time frame, more so the weekly here, we can see we've been in a downtrend, has pushed up, looked like it was potentially going to maybe roll over and push a bit higher by putting in a higher low, but it wasn't able to put in a higher high. And so right now we've got lower highs on this week. Now if we break down through here, we're going to have a lower low. So if we break down through this level, retest to the bottom side of that, we'll then looking for shorting opportunities off the potential resistance that we're getting off that level, which will agree with that weekly time frame. Now the next one's New Zealand US dollar. Now Craig spoke about this last week. He had this level in here, and he was saying he was looking for breaks above this level because that would be in agreement with what the monthly and the weekly was saying. So he wasn't so much looking to get short, he's looking for the break above and any retest of that level. And that's pretty much what we've got now. Price is coming right back down towards that level. I've got that marked in there, and so I'm going to be looking at over the next few hours to at least the rest of today's session for any bounces off that level. I think that's going to be a good opportunity, which is occurring fairly soon. The next one is NZ Yen. Now with Kiwi Yen, this is more of a bigger play than I'm looking at here. We look here on the monthly chart, we can see this very strong resistance up here. We've been in a very sideways range for a very, very long time, but we're testing that upper region right now. So if I look at this on the weekly, we can see it here too. So we're testing this upper region, and we've had pretty much 5 tests already. Now if this can put in a higher low here, so we've pulled up to that level, tested it. So the level's about, say, 69, or actually probably just put that at 69 actually. Let me just change that to 69. I always like to go round numbers if possible. That normally makes more sense. So 69 looks good there, big round number. So we've just tested that recently over the last few weeks. We've pulled off from that level and now we're back into this buy zone on this weekly. If this can hold here and pushed up and retest it again so soon after retesting it here, I think there's a very, very good chance that that's going to break up through that level. When it does, we should see a pretty decent move up. So that's one that is maybe a week or two away from actually engaging, but it's one I'm definitely going to be watching and putting alerts on there for. Not so much bounces off 69. I want to more see a break up through it and then try and trade the actual break out of that level. I think is going to be a very, very good opportunity, but provided it can keep this higher low in this buy zone, that's going to give me extra strength and look for that break above out of that. Okay, so that are the 4 opportunities that I'm going to be looking for over the next few days and the next week based on levels. Now hopefully you enjoy the way we analyze the markets and you want to see more of it. Well, we've got this special webinar coming up next week that's going to be run by our founder and head trader, Nick McDonald. It's a pretty rare opportunity to see Nick presenting a webinar live because he doesn't tend to do these very often these days. Now, regardless of if you're a full-time mother or father, you work part-time, you work full-time, or you're a retiree, everyone these days seems to have such a busy lifestyle. Now this webinar is designed for you. It's going to show you how to combine high performance trading with a busy lifestyle. Nick himself is a very successful business person. He's got 2 small young children and he's also a successful trader, and he's going to show you how he's managed to do that for more than a decade now. So this webinar is going to show you what we call our precision lifestyle trade. It's a perfect strategy to be used in any market, any time frame, and to combine it with your busy lifestyle. So I'm going to put a link below this video which will bring you to this page. When you come to this page, you can read all about what the webinar is going to be about, but do bear in mind as well that Nick is going to take what he teaches you during the webinar and go to the live markets and try and apply it right there and then in the live markets. So if you attend live, not only will you get to interact with Nick, but you'll also be able to sit there and watch him scan the markets and hopefully find some setups right there and then. So when is it set? It's set down for the 17th of April. So that's Tuesday of next week at 8 p.m. London time. Now that translates to 3 p.m. in New York or 7 a.m. the following morning in New Zealand. Okay, so 8 p.m. London, which is 3 p.m. New York, which is 7 a.m. the next morning in New Zealand. So if you can't attend, you can click on the link below and register for the recording. And the recording will be available about 24 hours after the actual session. But I really encourage you to do everything you can to attend that live, because as I say, Nick will be assessing the markets and you'll be able to interact with him live as well. So do take advantage of this opportunity. Nick doesn't always do this. It's pretty rare that he'll do a session like this. So I encourage you all to sign up. You'll get a lot out of it that you'll be able to apply instantly to your trading. Alright guys, have a great weekend and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.